Good evening, I'm Byron Scott with a CTV News update. Topping the news tonight, a big vote that will set the county's district lines for the next 10 years. The plan has drawn protests countywide like this one in College Park after the council voted to proceed with a map drawn by council member Derek Davis. That map was viewed as more aggressive than the one drawn by an independent commission. Opponents say the new map intentionally protects some incumbents from being challenged by strong candidates.
It really doesn't look good at this point because the 6 people that have supported this, I believe, are really intent on following through with the revised map. Now they're calling it the Davis-Franklin map. So we are continuing to try to put, pressure on them to not do that, because I'm sure you're aware that there are 3 people who will be affected by this new map who would have been running. Who's been, running in their districts, knocking on doors, and then all of a sudden, boom, the rug is just pulled out of them.
The public hearing and a vote on the map are scheduled for Tuesday at 3 in the afternoon. Well, a Beltsville teenager is expected to survive after being shot by a stray bullet while playing video games at his home last night. The shooting happened at around 11 o'clock on the 4600 block of Marie Street. Investigators say the 14-year-old boy was taken to the hospital for treatment of his injuries, which are non-life-threatening. The incident bears a striking resemblance to the shooting of P.J. Evans in past August. In that case, the 8-year-old boy was playing video games at a friend's house when he was struck and killed by a stray bullet. Well, the state's mask mandate for schools will take center stage on Tuesday at a virtual State Board of Education meeting. The mandate was put in place at the start of the school year. The board will hear from a variety of individuals, including parents, about their thoughts on the mandate. The emergency regulation was put in place for 180 days, but it could be lifted sooner depending on the metrics. The meeting begins at 1 p.m. on Tuesday. To register for public comment, call 410-767-0467 by Monday at 3 o'clock. Well, here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The state health department has confirmed 909 new COVID cases. The positivity rate in Prince George's County continues to hover under 3%. It now stands at 2.46%. 10 Marylanders have died of the disease since yesterday. 509 remain hospitalized. And the local community center in Landover will open its doors to youngsters to get COVID vaccines this weekend. The kids' vaccination clinic will be held this Saturday, November 13th at the Wayne K. Curry Sports and Learning Complex. Kids 5 to 11 years old will get the Pfizer vaccine. Parents can bring their children to the clinic from 9 a.m. until 6 in the evening. Well, family and friends gathered at First Baptist Church of Glenarden this morning for the funeral of Krista Beverly Baker, the wife of former Prince George's County Executive Rashern Baker. Mourners streamed into the church for services. Beverly Baker died in September following a decade-long battle with Alzheimer's disease. The couple met in Howard University, where the two studied law. Beverly Baker worked as a civil rights attorney. She was 61 years old. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott. Coming up, good news, a $1 million prize for excellence for a Prince George's County teacher. Stay with us.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers. He connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back. A Langley Park teacher wins a $1 million global prize. Keisha Thorpe, who teaches English at International High School, was selected from more than 8,000 nominations from 121 countries around the world. Thorpe has worked to open up college education for her students by redesigning the 12th grade English curriculum. She made it more culturally relevant to her students, many of whom are first-generation Americans, immigrants, or refugees. Thorpe has also helped her students win more than $6 million in scholarships. And did you know that our nation has been celebrating Native American Heritage Month since 1990? To commemorate, the county's library system is hosting several virtual events. From book discussions to hands-on activities, there's something for all age groups. PGCMLS also has online resources for everyone to learn more about Native Americans.
We have a hub dedicated to different heritages from this county and of course nationally, and that can be found on our Heritage Hub. We have a specific page on Native American Indigenous peoples that includes timelines, biographies of notable Native Americans, and as well lists the reasoning why this is such an important initiative for our library and county.
For more information, visit the website on your screen. Well, a team of researchers at the University of Maryland is developing a tool to identify areas of the world most in need of climate intervention. The team, which is funded by the Bezos Earth Fund, is using a nearly $13 million grant for the project to combat climate change. Researchers will create satellite systems to track Earth's changing physical landscape.
Funds are being used to map the planet and how it changes over time, and this is important for understanding the Earth system overall. Rates of deforestation, rates of urbanization, rates of surface water change and natural hazards can be tracked from space using satellite imagery. And it's important that we look at the planet as a single entity because no one really does that. Countries do their own monitoring, and it's very difficult to create a synthesis that's consistent of what the state of the planet is. The satellite is well calibrated, takes the same picture of the forest over Indonesia, Congo, Amazon, even US. And so we can apply algorithms to create a very consistent record of what our natural resources are and how they're changing.
To learn more about the project, log on to glad.umd.edu. And in politics, 15 municipal leaders from Prince George's endorsed Glenn Ivey's bid for the District 4 congressional seat. Ivey, a former state attorney, served as counsel and legislative aide to several members of Congress. His endorsements come from Bowie Mayor Tim Adams and Laurel's Craig Moe, among others. Ivey and State Delegate Jazz Lewis running for the seat being vacated by Representative Anthony Brown. Well, local businesses received some major financial help from the county this week. Employee Prince George's gave more than $160,000 in rapid reemployment grant checks. The money went to businesses that have hired county residents. They received $15,000 for each employee added to the payroll.
Any business who's in compliance and in good standing with the regulatory agencies can receive a Prince George's County Rapid Reemployment Grant. The goal is that they have to hire an currently unemployed Prince George's County resident. Businesses with less than 200 employees will qualify to receive a grant that covers 75% of the new hire salary for their first 12 weeks. And large businesses with over 200 employees will qualify for a grant that receives up to 50% of the new hire salary for the first 12 weeks.
Funding for the grant program came from the American Rescue Plan. And still ahead on the news, fans are set to cheer on the Bowie State Bulldogs as they face off at the CIAA Championship. A preview coming up. Stay tuned.
I'm here to announce my retirement from sports. Baseball, basketball, all of them. I feel like it's time. The pressure that it takes to play at my age, it's just too much. So I'm done with the endless advice from parents to keep my head up, to keep my head down, to keep my head in the game. I know you think you helped. I'm walking away from the coaches that left me on the bench every time the game was on the line. I'll miss my friends and the fun we had when we were young. I said I'd play this game as long as I was having fun. And now, it's time to call it quits. Any questions?
Welcome back. A popular community-wide Day of Service project is back. Good Neighbor Day is hosting its 10th anniversary event in Greater College Park tomorrow. The event will be filled with in-person projects and virtual workshops. Volunteers will be able to work on beautification projects like picking up litter at Guilford Run and the Paint Branch Trail at Metzerott Road. Others will help plant trees and prune bushes at Hollywood Elementary.
It's more about environmental programs and basically to contribute to the effect of invasive species being taken over and removing and cleaning the litter and litter pickups that we go around. And plus we beautify common spaces in the area, like the Lake Artemisia, for example, is one of the areas that we, the students love and the faculty and everyone in the community wants to be involved. And also the schools in the area. Hollywood Elementary School is going to be one of our participants again this year.
Organizers will also host a food drive at the IKEA in College Park from 10 a.m. until 2 in the afternoon. Currently, all of the in-person projects are filled. However, you can still take part in the virtual workshops. For more information, visit oce.umd.edu. And almost 30 dogs and other beloved animals died due to cold weather last year. That's according to PETA. As frigid months approach, the organization suggests feeding your furry friend a little bit more and making sure they are hydrated. PETA also says you should wash them less during cold spells. Meantime, the county's animal management has this advice when it comes to walking your dogs.
If you can, try to keep it on short walks so that way the pavement doesn't hurt their paws or put socks or booties on their paws for dogs. If it's really cold out, especially if you have a short-faced dog, you definitely want to keep those walks very short because they can't not breathe.
Well, a big round of applause for the Bowie State University Bulldogs. The football team had 10 players named CIAA All-Conference this week. They include seniors Quentin Bobo of White Plains and Khalil Wilkins of Temple Hills. Meantime, for the third time in his career, head coach Damon Wilson has been named Conference Coach of the Year. Tomorrow, Wilson will lead his team in the CIAA championship game against the Fayetteville State Broncos. Bowie State has won 6 of the last 10 games against Fayetteville, but Coach Wilson says it's going to be a tough contest.
I think we match up good. I think we have a very good secondary, and I think our guys will be up for the challenge. And once again, our defensive line, they are a little upset right now, so I anticipate those guys getting after the quarterback and being able to stop the run, and our guys on the back end going to do their job on the back end.
We're not trying to win a three-peat. We just want to win a championship. This is a totally different team for 2018 and 2019, so we just taking it as that. We're going to respect our opponent. We're going to come and play dark side football. We know what type of players that we have. We know what type of defense that we have. We just like to play dominant football. We like to compete at all levels. We know what we got. We know what goals we got in mind. We just play a dominant football game all 4 quarters.
I anticipate it being a very physical football game. One thing that I know for sure, this is a different team here than it was in 19. They have a different team as well. We got to go into it. It's a new ball game, same universities, playing against one another, but different guys on the field.
We got a pretty good O-line who's been making holes, and we had a lot of success on the ground. So we're going to run the ball, score. Another opportunity to go be great. Just go out there and take advantage of every opportunity they give us. We work too hard. We work hard, just put out what we do every week in practice, all out on Saturday. So that's all it takes. We're just going to have fun.
Bowie State and Fayetteville will kick off tomorrow at 1 p.m. in Salem, Virginia. The game will be broadcast nationally on Aspire TV. A quick look now at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low of around 45 degrees. Saturday, mostly sunny with a chance of showers and a high near 58. Sunday and Monday, mostly sunny with temps in the low 50s. And now for the community calendar. As we mentioned earlier, Good Neighbor Day celebrates 10 years. Join participants from the University of Maryland and the County Parks Department to beautify the community. Volunteers will work together tomorrow to create new green spaces and clean up trash. The event will also feature virtual workshops. For more information, visit goodneighborday.umd.edu. And that's our news for tonight. We'll see you on Monday. I'm Byron Scott. Good night.